ever wonder why we're here?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Daily Hotpot. I am your co-host, Drift, aka Robbie.
And I'm gone.
Oh no! Oh no!
Good morning, everybody.
Oh no!
How's everybody doing this morning?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh no! No.
Was that too real? I'm sorry. That was.
That was so good. That was so good.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this episode. We are already off the rails. Khuon, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, everybody.
Oh, no! You know what? This is just the voice acting pod. This is we're just gonna bust out every voice. Imagine doing a whole podcast like this.
I'm excited.
No, let's move on.
All right, guys. Well, today these voices have literally nothing to do with our topics. I don't know why it came out this way. But Khuon, today we are going to be talking about the first time that we played a video game and realized, damn, this thing has a story. Do you remember the first time that a story struck you in a video game?
Very interesting because as a kid, I played games where it was more like you're there for the game, right? So we have like Age of Empires, we had, Dynasty Warriors. Those are very much like, pickup games where you jump on, play some games. Even Pokemon, there's no stories. You're there for like the game, the battle aspect.
What do you mean? Fighting Gary was my story.
But I think there were probably ones beforehand, but the first thing that comes to mind for me, I think Halo was one, but in the same genre for sci-fi, Mass Effect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This was when I like slowly started to get into RPGs a little, and Mass Effect or Assassin's Creed 2, I think.
Oh,
No.
wow.
Yeah, so those were the games like kind of like, hey, I might play this for like 4 hours, not because like I'm addicted to the gameplay or the gameplay loop, but more it's like, oh, I want to see where this is going.
Yeah.
Right. And so for Mass Effect, the fact that you and your crew all had like different stories that build up to something and you connected with your crewmate alongside like an epic story drew me in greatly. And I think we talked about this before, where those are the kind of RPGs I like, the ones with like good story building, good world building. It definitely have like companions that have their own stories. And for me, I slowly grew into appreciating games that have, good dialogue, good plot lines, and so forth. And unfortunately, Bethesda, like Skyrim's like my favorite game, right? And
But
not to pick on Starfield, right? That was such a disappointment. I was very excited to play the different stories that they were going to put together, and for me, it was a big disappointment in that regards. And
wait. You didn't like being the space dragonborn?
No, I did not. Low key, I didn't even play with any of like the powers. I didn't get it. It like threw me out of like the whole story.
I hear there was
Like,
such an afterthought.
Yeah, I just wanted to play a realistic fucking sci-fi space game, right? Realistic, quote unquote. Uh, anyways, recently I haven't really like come across any good story-driven games that I've played recently. I think the last one for me was that like the recent Red Dead game.
Oh, Red Dead
Uh,
Redemption
pl-
2? Yeah.
yeah. That was like probably the last game I played where it was like good ass story.
I'm going to probably probe this question because I know we have some
Mhm.
gamers that listen to this pod, so they'll probably ask you, in recent memory, we're surprised that you haven't said anything about Baldur's Gate 3, the sensation of this past year.
That is a topic for you, sir. I have not played Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, that's the thing. I know you haven't, but I guess for the
Yeah.
people, they'll probably wonder why you haven't touched it if you say you like, one, companions with their own story, and a compelling, good storyline, as well as an RPG.
I will 100% play it. And the reason why I haven't played it yet was there's a certain risk of me playing it for 500 hours. And, I frankly, at this particular moment in my life, cannot afford 500 hours down the drain. I unfortunately invested a lot of time into Starfield.
Unfortunately, yeah,
Ins-
unfortunately.
Instead of Baldur's Gate, right? Sometimes you win some and you lose some with the choices you make in life.
This sounds like this sounds like an intervention for an addiction. It's like, oh, sometimes you
Mhm.
make the wrong choice and you got to live with it. Yeah. Those are some great picks, Con, especially Mass Effect and Assassin's Creed 2, because Assassin's Creed 2, funny enough, well, it's not my choice for this topic. I wish I had thought of it when thinking of my choice, because that was my
Mhm.
first Assassin's Creed. I didn't play 1. My brother played 1, and I played 2 because he tried to get me onto the series. Like, just play 2. Try it out.
Yeah.
It'll be your jam. I was like, what? Okay. Tried it out. History. Oh, alternate history. Oh, and well, actually not alternate history, but more so fictional history. And I don't know, like it's such an intriguing idea of having an ancestors using your DNA to access your ancestors' memories using a machine and living and
Yeah.
breathing in a historical setting is fucking amazing.
That
And
that was an amazing concept, and I haven't played some of the more recent ones. However, I have played the education portion of those games. Like,
like the data
I think
logs and the databases and stuff, or
wait, which one is the game where you were in Egypt?
oh, that one was Assassin's Creed. Oh my god, I'm forgetting the tagline. Origins, right?
Yeah, yeah. They had a special mode for educational purposes where because as a company, these games are very detailed in their world and it's very accurate, historically accurate, at least on the world side and the buildings, the art and the history. So I think they dedicated a whole mode where you just walk around and learn about the culture, the art. I don't know if you played this mode, but I actually have played it for like a few hours and
I
I,
have
I
not.
thought it was great. Yeah. I've never played the game, but I very much
Oh,
enjoyed
okay.
that special mode. Yeah, for some weird reason.
That is such a feature that I wish was in the previous Assassin's Creeds, because other than roaming around, if you guys don't know what Assassin's Creed is, for those of you non-gamers, as I described, it was a game origined around or based around the fact that the protagonist's DNA was linked to, to make a long story short, very important people in history, and you were able to, through that, the company was using a machine called the Animus to use his DNA to look into his ancestors' memories. There's a whole freaking war between two factions, Assassins, Templars, and all, but it was just a great setting and premise for the game, like to go back into
Mm,
amazing points in history. I mean, this series went through, for example, French Revolution, Napoleonic era, went through American Revolution, it went through the Renaissance, which is where Assassin's Creed 2 takes place. The first one, which was during the Knights Templar in like Crusades era. It's just a great series. It has fallen from grace as of late, and they also announced their new game, Assassin's Creed
mhm.
Shadows, which is set in
T-
Japan, which is damn too late.
There,
You're too late.
there also some controversy revolving around certain characters you get to play.
Yes, some certain characters that we won't get into it. We have a topic to cover, but yes,
Yes.
Assassin's Creed, amazing choice, Con. My game that I chose, and you actually partially mentioned it, and that is Halo. But specifically,
Mm,
the game that made me realize, holy crap, there's a story and I'm invested as a kid was Halo 2.
yes,
Because
yes, yes,
the
yes.
difference between Halo 1 and Halo 2, Halo 1's a great game, a foundational game in the first person shooter genre, future video, is it was very much still a game. The story was there, and it's a lot of environmental story, but the cutscenes were very bare bones. It was the early 2000s, developed in the late 90s. Okay, understand. Halo 2 is the flagship title for the original Xbox, and they tuned up the cinematography and making you want to be invested in a story given to you in such a way that it was so engrossing. Because again, cutscenes were planned with proper cinematography and lighting and staging, and amazing shots. The dialogue was amazing. The voice actors, the script was awesome. They took the story seriously and expanded the universe of Halo in Halo 2. Halo 1, humans land on a ring, there's aliens called the Covenant, we're being chased, blah blah blah. We find out Halo's a super weapon, might destroy the galaxy, destroy Halo, save humanity. Cool. Halo 2, they expand the universe so greatly because your enemy in Halo is the Covenant. It is a conglomerate of multiple alien races who believe in a divine, the divine creation of Halo, which you find out isn't a divine creation, but it's basically a space religion. And they think that Halo is, if you activate Halo, it'll send you to heaven. And really, what Halo is a super weapon that destroys all life within like 3 radii of galaxies and destroys all life. In Halo 2, In Halo 1, they're your enemy. In Halo 2, you play Master Chief, which is the main character, and then you're able to play as the Arbiter. And throughout the
Mm.
cutscenes of Halo 2, they're showing you like the Covenant side, which in Halo 1 they never did. They like basically made them the kind of like, they're the aliens, they're the enemy. You should really know nothing about them other than they're aliens and they're gonna kill you. Halo 2, they show you like the politics behind the Covenant and the warring between the races and factions behind their groups and the manipulation of the prophets, which are like the head aliens of the Covenant, and manipulating all the other like smaller and less powerful races to war against each other and to forward the motivations of the whole religion. It's insane. Like it went from Shooty McShooty Spaceman to space politics, and not Star Wars, Phantom Menace space politics. I mean, proper
Mm.
space alien politics that was captivating because you see this character of the Arbiter who's like a banished elite who is shunned for failing to stop Master Chief, the protagonist, you of the first games, failing to stop you from destroying Halo. He's, sent to become the Arbiter, which is basically like it's like a suicide mission, essentially. It's a title of basically taking on a duty of taking a suicide mission to help forward the Covenant's goals. You're a martyr, and he gets to unravel the holes of the Covenant and realize that the Covenant's whole religion's based on a lie. And this is all being told while you also get to play as Master Chief, saving the world and stopping the second Halo. It was, as a kid, it blew my fucking mind. I was like, wait a minute, I'm playing as the aliens? And then it's like, wait a minute, aliens, politics things? I didn't really understand the politics side because I was a fucking snot nose picking kid, but realizing, having respect, but a certain level of just like feeling of grief for the Arbiter, seeing his whole world shatter around him, his beliefs being shattered around him, being like, whoa, everything he knew was a lie. It's a very tragic part of his character. And I don't know, as a kid, I realized, like, it clicked for me. Like, every other game was game, whatever. I press buttons, I kill things, blah, blah, blah. But Halo 2 was such a step forward in realizing, holy crap, video games are such a fantastic way and medium to portray a story. It blew my mind, and to this day is still my favorite Halo, other than maybe Halo Reach. And yeah, to this day, still my favorite, absolute favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I think around this time was kind of like where video game companies kind of got the message that, video games can be like movies. Video games can be like even TV shows where people can get invested into the world, the story, and in particular, the characters.
Mhm.
And I think video games is one of those mediums where it's special in the sense that you get to spend hours upon hours with a certain character that you're playing or a certain person. And it could either be someone that you are role playing as, or it could be a character in the story. But you're spending a massive amount of time with a particular character and you're totally invested. And I think, like you said, for Halo with the Arbiter, you're spending so much time with him that you're invested in his story. And I don't think there's like too many mediums out there where that kind of time investment translate into, the stories that, someone can tell.
It's I've had this conversation with friends before, and we're kind of wrapping up here, but I just want to say, like, video games are such a special medium because more than anything, even if it has a really in-depth story or not, or maybe the story is purposely bare bones because they want you to focus on gameplay, I think it is a perfect opportunity and medium to be so engrossed into a story, mainly because, you're in it. You're in
Hmm.
control. Like you have almost no choice because of the nature of video games. Unless the story is so bad it takes you out, right? As long as the story is competent and they're able, the four walls of immersion are able to keep you held within and they don't fuck it up somehow. I
Yeah.
think it's so easy for the medium to draw you in. I think video games are so powerful in that nature. And yeah, it's what a time,
Yeah.
gamers.
So to continue to dive into this particular topic, a game that kind of like made your consequences felt something in the story for me was Dragon Age 2.
Oh yeah.
There are You have like a whole posse of characters that you're with, and you meet new ones and you make friends with them, and the consequences of the choices that you make during the journey can actually like kill them off, or if they can survive like the big battle at the end. And for some reason, like those kind of consequences for me really made me even more invested into how I role play as the character, or the decisions that I make along the way. And like I said before, no other medium can like come close to having that kind of agency with the viewer,
Mhm.
or in this case, I agree 100%. Games can tell great stories. Games can tell stories that you make. Games can tell stories that the developer or the writer want to tell, and I agree. I hope games will continue to tell great stories. I know maybe not so much anymore, but I hope they continue to make good ones, and I will continue to keep playing great stories in video games.
When they care, Con. When they care enough,
Mm,
we care.
yes.
All right. Well, that's about it for today, everybody. Oh my God, Con! I just realized
Yeah.
because of our whole freaking voice debacle. I didn't say, so I'll put it into my closing message, guys. I hope you guys have a happy Thursday. This week 8 of the Daily Hotpot. You guys have a great, fantastic rest of your day. I hope it's lovely. Hopefully you get to play some video games, maybe with some great stories. And yeah, Con, do you have anything left to leave the people?
No, not really. Go and play a great game with a great story.
All right, that's a perfect send off. And as always, folks, take it easy.
Bye.